Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. Today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog, which I've never actually done before, so this is something new for me. But I really wanted to do one for this book because I've heard good things about it. It's not a very well-known book. Hopefully this will help other people discover the book. But the book I am talking about is Divine Blood by Beck Michaels. I got this recommendation from Novel Bound Podcast. They're like a book-focused podcast. But first of all, like the cover is just so pretty. This is just the dust jacket because, and if you see throughout the video that I am reading the book that looks like this, it's because I put a book cover on it. Like, you know those books like the book covers you buy to put over textbooks so they don't get damaged? Well, I have one that's a little bit smaller, so I put them over books, like the hardcovers when I'm reading them, especially since the hardcover of this is matte black. I don't want to get my fingerprints all over it, so this is just the easiest way to prevent that. So now for the synopsis. A map to a place they each desire, a destiny they didn't expect. The shadow demon nearly took everything from Denalia Astron, and it would soon return for more. When she discovers a way to fight back, she must go on a perilous journey and risk it all for those she holds dear. Along the way, she meets Cassiel, a celestial prince with magic blood and wings as black as his heart. He wants nothing to do with Dinah until he learns she could lead him to a place he has been searching for all his life. But reaching their destination is not as easy as they thought, nor are they the only ones who search for it. With danger at every turn and harrowing secrets between them, the quest will require much more than determination. They must fight for what they desire, or die trying. From debut author Beck Michaels comes the first book in a dark fantasy series filled with magic, gripping action, and budding romance as a girl and her guardians explore the depths of loss, acceptance, and the true meaning of courage. So, update, I finished the prologue, and that was intense. So far, I really like the writing. It's third person past tense, which is my absolute favorite tense to read in. I don't know why, but I just like that writing style the best. I think it's because in third person, you get more of an objective perspective of everything because it's not happening in the main character's head, you know? And then past tense is my favorite because it's not so sudden. Like, I feel like when I'm reading in present tense, it's so like choppy and like fast-paced, which fast-paced isn't a bad thing, but I don't know. Does that make sense? So we learned that the shadow demon killed Thane, who is Dinah's, I'm assuming, little brother, and it almost got her, but her father saved her, but he wasn't quick enough to save Thane, which, very tragic. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'm only on page 7, so, but so far, so good. I quite like it. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I am a horrible vlogger because I finished Divine Blood, and I didn't update you guys past like the first 50 pages. My bad. I will give you guys my final thoughts though. So I ended up giving Divine Blood a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a really, really good first installment in the series. It does end on, it's not really a cliffhanger because you know like what the plot point, the plot twist is ahead of time, but it's a cliffhanger in the sense that it's an unresolved ending. So I already ordered the second book. It's on its way right now because I couldn't just leave it there, and it's so good. Like, I love it. I'm gonna put this behind me because I don't want to keep touching it because it's the matte black cover and those tend to get fingerprints on them. So I'm like holding it with my sleeve. My thoughts. I did make a reading journal spread for it. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, I gave it 5 stars. It was a pretty slow start. Like, it wasn't boring, but it was slow. And then once you got past like the 100-ish page mark, then it went like so fast. I finished it in 2 days, so yeah. I really like all the characters that we've met so far. Well, except the ones that are kind of the villains. Don't like them. Dinah, who is the main character, she's kind of, she doesn't have a lot of common sense, and I think that's due to the fact that she grew up in like this kind of isolated village, kind of in this little bubble, so she doesn't really know a lot about like human nature. But I'm hoping as she experiences more of the world, we'll see her character develop more in the later books. Cassiel, he is so fun. I love him. And Zev, oh my gosh, Zev is just hilarious. I love them both. I'm not gonna go too into spoilers because I know this isn't really a popular book and a lot of people haven't read it, so I don't want to spoil anything. But as for tropes, we have accidental betrothal, which is really interesting how that happens. And it is accidental. You might be thinking like, how is betrothal an accident? Well, you'll just have to read it and see. We have the you're injured trope. It's like the main character gets injured and the love interest like, oh, I have to take care of you now because you're injured. So we love that trope. And then we have the who hurt you trope, which I also love. And I know a lot of people do too. And there's literally every single magical creature you could think, except vampires. We haven't met vampires yet. I don't know if they're non-existent in this world, or if we just haven't crossed paths with them yet, but yeah. But we have like werewolves, dwarves, elves, mages, celestials, like we got it all. And this is like a they're basically traveling for the whole book because it is more of like an epic fantasy, because they're going on a quest. So if that's not your thing, you might not enjoy this, but it was so fun to read. Like, I had a great time reading it. And we kind of have a one-bed trope. It's not like a full-blown one-bed trope like you would think of a one-bed trope. But it's kind of like almost an accidental one-bed trope. I mean, I guess the one-bed tropes are kind of accidental. But, like, it's hard to explain without spoiling it. And the world building is pretty heavy in this book because since there are so many different creatures, there's like all their history that you kind of have to learn. So like the majority of my tabs in this book are all for world building. So this book is written in third person, past tense with dual perspective, which is my favorite POV/tense to read in. While I think first person works for contemporary, I prefer third person in fantasy because it reads better to me. But before I dive into Fable, because I posted a poll on my Instagram story asking you guys which book I should read next because I'm kind of indecisive and I'm kind of in the mood to read like anything. So it was between Fable, Peter Pan, and Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I got on hold from the library. I've been wanting to read Fable for a while now because it's got pirates in it, and who doesn't love pirates? I know I'm a sucker for pirates. But also this cover is stunning, except for this stupid sticker. I hate when they put these on. Why? And if you're gonna put them on, stick them on the back. I don't need it on the front cover, okay? Like, oh my goodness. And this does have an under the dust jacket design. Very pretty. And I love how you can see like the pirate. I love how you can see like the pirate ship in her eye. That's a fun little detail. I do have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on before I start reading, so we're gonna go ahead and do that because that's more important. And I also have to write an annotated bibliography for the essay, so I need to find some more sources and start summarizing them because that'll really help. We have like around 3 weeks to finish it, and I'm not gonna procrastinate because I have a habit of doing that. Not like to the extent that some people have, but I still just push it off until the last minute. So I need to go ahead and do that because if I don't, I'm gonna make more work for myself. And I just need to do like 1 source a day, and then that'll take me 11 days because you have to find 11 sources. I can do this. I also have to read a little bit for a class. I also finished reading 2 chapters for my class, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break and we shall start Fable. I'm excited! We'll just get a few chapters in. I also forgot to mention that I am also buddy reading Cinder with a friend. I wanted to reread this series this year and she owns it, so I was like, hey, let's buddy read. And she's like, that's great. And so we're buddy reading Cinder. I'm about 44% done with the book. And I'm annotating it this time because the first time I read this series, I borrowed it from a friend. But this time I own the entire series. All bought secondhand, which, yay. And actually most of them were all free books. So we love thrift books because I have so many free books from them. Oh my gosh. Because I'm like the highest tier and you can get any book under $7. And a lot of their books are under $7. So, although Winter, I ordered in hardcover and it was supposed to be very good, but like the spine was all messed up, so I had to kind of glue it back together. But it's fine. At least I own it. Okay. Well, let's start Fable. Shall we? Also, question of the day. When you read a hardcover, do you take the dust jacket off or do you read with the dust jacket on? I used to read with the dust jacket on, but now I just read with the dust jacket off. And sometimes I will put like those book covers on if I want to protect it, but this one is fine because it's not like that matte cover, so it won't get my fingerprints on it, so I'm fine just like reading it like this. But yeah, I definitely don't read with the dust jacket on anymore. What do you do? Let me know down below. Okay, welcome back. The camera died while I was filming, so I had to charge it, but I managed to get to page 17, which is chapter 3. It's pretty good so far. It is a little bit confusing just with all the names of places, and since some of the places sound like people's names, it's just a little bit confusing, but I think as I go along, it'll be a lot better. So this is written in first person past tense, which I much prefer to first person present. I just feel like present tense gets really choppy for some reason, unless the author can do it really well, which a lot of times I notice it and it just doesn't really work. So that's my little update. It's really cold, so I think I'm gonna curl up with a blanket and get a little bit more reading done. So I read to page 79, which is about that much. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm kind of just like sucked into the story and it's like it's not that hard to read, so it's really easy just to like read as much as you want. So hopefully I can get to page 100 today. I think that'll be good because it's 350 pages. So hopefully I can finish this by the end of January, which is 2 days from now, because today's the 29th. So yeah, hopefully maybe like page 125 I'm hoping to get to by the end of the day. I love how like street smart Fable is, because that's something that really annoys me in like books, is when the main character is like very dumb. They lack common sense, and I don't like that. Like, I need them to have at least some degree of common sense, and Fable definitely does, so I really appreciate that. So I just made my February bullet journal, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So this is my cover page. I wanted to do like a little love letter theme, and then this is my quote page. Of course I had to go with Pride and Prejudice because iconic romance. Then we have the books read page, and then we have the quotes page. So, and then here will be my stats, so I'll put like my favorite book of the month, and then I'll fill in how many pages, books, and the ebooks, library books, physical books, and audiobooks I read, and then I'll just write as many quotes as I want here. And then after that, I'll just put any books I want to journal. So for example, like this is my January, and then here I'm putting books that I wanted to journal about and make spreads for. I have finished Fable. I read it so fast. I literally finished it yesterday, which is the day I started it. So that's a new record even for me. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and I'll give you guys a bit of my thoughts. The writing was so immersive. Like, this is the book that made me feel like the main character. Like, I felt like I was there. And other books have done that for me too, but not as much as this book. Like, I was just sucked into the world. And I know I said the world building was a little bit confusing in the beginning, but now I understand it more after having finished the book. And can I just say, that ending, I need the next book. Why are all these books I'm reading ending on cliffhangers? Oh my gosh. So there is a romance in this, but I wouldn't say it's like the main plot point. It's like not even a subplot, it's like a subplot because that's how like little in the story it is. And I feel like it just kind of happens. Like there's not really, I mean there's a little bit of build up to it, but it's not so much that it's like a subplot, you know? So there weren't any like quotes that stuck out to me, but there were a couple moments. So spoilers, I'll have a timestamp you can skip to. But on page 314, that underwater kiss, I was like, first I was like, how are they not like drowning, you know? And the fact that West was like a dredger as well, even though he's like the helmsman, that was so good. And I think West fell in love with Fable before Fable fell in love with West. Also, these names sound so like unrealistic when I'm saying them out loud, but in the book they sound fine. And also, still spoilers. I was hoping that Willa and West weren't going to be love interests, which I'm so glad they didn't end up being love interests, because I was like, if there's something between them, that's gonna make it a whole lot more complicated for West and Fable to get together. And thank goodness that they didn't have a history, that they're siblings instead. Anyway, but the cover is literally stunning, and the fact that the second book is like the other half of her face, it looks so good. Oh my gosh. And I know I already mentioned this, but there's a ship in her eye. And this book also really reminded me of Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, in the sense that their fathers are both like big name people, you know? Alosa's dad is the Pirate King, and Fable's dad is like a pirate. No, he's not a pirate. He's like a tradesman. I don't know what to call it, but he's like well-known, famous. That was so good. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved it. And I read it so fast. I was hoping I would finish it because I had like 100 pages left and I had like an hour before I went to sleep. But I managed to finish it, and yay. But overall, I would highly recommend this book if you're, and it was like the perfect amount of like lyrical, kind of just really immersive writing, and like not overly fluffy, if you know what I mean. Like just the right amount of fluff. As for tropes, this just really, the main thing is found family. Hello again. Also resuming buddy reading Cinder because my friend was finally able to start reading it again. And I'm currently on page 202. Well, I just got done editing this vlog, and I realized I never really created an outro first I wanted to show you guys the reel that made me want to pick up Divine Blood, which was by Novel Bound Podcast, so I'll let you guys watch it.
I have 1 minute to convince you to read my favorite book series right now. This series has me in a chokehold, guys. I cannot stop thinking about it. It is the Divine Blood series by Beck Michaels. It's deep fantasy. Any fantasy character you can think of is probably in this book, which I love. The main character, Dinah, is so sweet and soft but stubborn, and she knows what she wants. And Zeb, her cousin, has a dark history, but he just wants redemption. He just wants to be happy, and I just want him to be happy. Cassiel, the love interest, who is a Nephilim with wings, who is a half-breed and not accepted by his court. Like, it is a total found family trope, but also there's forced proximity and accidental betrothal and any other trope you can think. One bed. They do the one bed trope. I love this book. The characters are so deep and multifaceted, and I connect with every single one of them, and I just want them all to have their happy ending. Please, you guys have to read this book. It's so good. It's so good.
I have no kingdom, no dragons, no enemies to defeat, but for a few moments, for a few pages, I can pretend.
I really hope you guys check it out because it is such a good book and I think it deserves more hype. And the series is set to be 7 books and the 3rd book releases in August. So it's gonna be a long wait, but I'm sure it will be worth it. And Fable is also really good. I gave it 5 stars. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but I gave it 5 stars. I'm still reading Cinder. We're going to read another 50 pages today, and then we'll keep reading 50 pages until we finish. But we don't have that much left. We're at like 67%-ish. I can't wait to finish it so I can discuss it with my friend, and we kind of just discuss it as we go. And she's read it before and I've read it before, so it's a reread for both of us. Yeah, I'm really excited to finish it. I hope you guys enjoyed those clips of all the bullet journaling. I don't really want to make specific bullet journal videos because it just takes me a while to figure things out. So, for like layouts and things like that. So I think I'll just stick them in reading vlogs. And let me know if you guys do like this reading vlog style. It's a lot easier to film and to edit because I take short snippets of my day instead of just sitting down and filming for like an hour, which is a lot easier for me. So I think in the future I'll do reading vlogs and give you guys like little reviews at the end, and then I can discuss more spoilery things versus when I do like my book looks, I only stick to like the broad overview. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe down below. Follow me on social media. All my links are in the description for Instagram, Goodreads, things like that. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao!